let me welcome Derek Clemens with MC Power. So while he's coming up on stage, I'm going to get the PowerPoint switched around, but put your hands together for Derek.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys all for coming today, and thank you again for letting us present. And we hope you guys all had a fantastic holiday. And so, like she mentioned, I'm here for MC Power, and we have 3 different branches or areas of the company that we like to specialize in, and that's solar, electrical, and then construction. I'm actually on the solar side of the business, so that's going to be primarily what I talk about. But I can touch real quick on the other stuff that we do. So first off, who is MC Power Companies? MC Power Companies was started in 2009. There was a couple of different businesses that we merged together. We brought in a construction side and was doing a lot of electrical work, and then had the opportunity to start doing some solar, and ended up getting quite a few solar jobs. And it turned out that there's a lot of opportunity in there. And so we decided to start that solar branch, mix it with the construction side, and start MC Power. Like it says there, we're in a unique position in the fact that we're solar developers, we engineer it, and then we also build the projects. So, there's a lot of businesses out there that can just, design the project for you, show you what it would look like, and then you take those plans out to somebody else, have them build the system for you. Or, there's companies out there that at the other end of that spectrum, they'll build it for you, they don't know how to design it. All inside our office, we have the engineers, we have the staff to do the construction, and basically what we like to do is bring a turnkey solar system to somebody. And we have a national reputation for our workmanship. We've done projects all over the country. Primarily, we do a bunch in Missouri, and we do anywhere from utility-sized projects, municipalities, down to local businesses. We've done projects in South Carolina, we've done projects in California, Arizona, Kansas, and so we're trying to expand as the solar market expands. Our keys to success is we really, really favor partnerships and relationships. Like I mentioned earlier, when we have that turnkey system that we install, we also like to provide the maintenance and the monitoring of the system after it goes in. And actually on the poster board there at the bottom, you can see our daily screen. I'll show you that if you guys can hear me. But so here is a screenshot of what we see every day when we check somebody's system. And the thing that's neat about that is we're able to maintain and watch your system every single day so that we know for sure you're getting exactly what we promised you would get. If something on your system slows down or if it's not working properly, we get those updates and we can go to somebody and say, hey, we're going to get our guys out there. We're going to make sure this is back to working like it's supposed to. It's amazing how often we might see that a system's not performing 100%. We'll even call the people because they don't realize it. We'll go out and clean the system and it's back up and it's kicking tail again. And they're not, they didn't even know to begin with. And so another thing, so we've built over 80 megawatts worth of projects, or we have that in construction right now. Our latest project that we're doing is down in Springfield, Missouri, and we're building that project, and that's actually going to be the largest solar project in the Midwest. And that's about an 11 megawatt project. To kind of put that into perspective, we just built a community solar project in Independence, which is the largest community solar project, and that was only about 3.5 megawatts, and that was 12,000 panels. So the 11 megawatt one we're putting down in Springfield is going to be pretty awesome, pretty exciting to see. As I put there, we've done over 60 individual projects for commercial and industrial clients. In fact, we just did a project for the Johnson Community College, so that way they can have a project that they can view, and they're going to also look at the maintenance of it and how it works every day so that their students can see that. And also we put in some charging stations. And then just something that's kind of neat to brag about a little bit, we also put in the largest rooftop array in the state of Kansas on IKEA on their store up in Merriam. So here's some benefits to the customers. So anybody that does get a solar system installed, for anybody that has a building that they potentially lease out space, it allows, those savings can transfer down into your tenants because your electric costs can stay levelized with the solar. Another thing is it does help with economic development, and it does give you predictable long-term energy costs. The fantastic thing about solar is once that system's in, that rate's locked in for 25 years. Now those systems can last longer, but that's how long the maintenance and the warranties are on all those systems. And another thing is it does allow you to tell people, hey, we're green, we're trying to help the environment, and a lot of businesses, their customers appreciate that. So here's some of the tax benefits that come with solar. For example, there's a federal tax credit that comes out, so you can get a great tax credit, 30%. So if you install a system, right there, you can get, that's a lot of savings. And it can also depreciate, which we have all this in the model that we present to somebody to show you how you can depreciate your systems. Like I said, it's got 25 to 30 years of a levelized cost, and the maintenance and insurance, that's all handled before the project's actually even installed, so that you know exactly what you've got when it's coming. Here's just a couple of pictures of some of the systems that we've done. And that DST there in California, at the time that we put that in, that's the far left, top left there. It was the largest rooftop system in California. So that was kind of neat on a private business. And then that next picture there, that's the IKEA. And that's the one that I was telling you is still today is the largest rooftop system in Kansas. And Kansas right now is actually pretty much the hot spot for Kansas. Through their legislation and stuff, they've really tried to boost their Kansas presence, or solar. And then a couple other ones that I listed there, Interstate Studios, you mentioned them. We put a system in for them here in Kansas, or in Sedalia. And then also Country Club Suites, we put in a system for Pettis County, Starline Brass, and then you can see Target and Kohl's. Those are in North Carolina. And that was actually a project that we were brought in by another company. They had bid the project out, and they got about somewhat through the project and realized that they were in over their head. And so we got brought in to help finish them, or to help finish that project. And then also we've got Ditchfield transferred there. And then, like I said, I'm predominantly solar, but here's a couple of the other things that we do as far as the construction electrical side. We do tenant refinishing. So if somebody buys a new building or just wants to update and refresh their building, we do that. We just did a couple of projects at the Independence Mall. That was kind of neat. So we can go from a small store like that to any standalone business. We can come in and completely renovate it for you. Another thing is we also do additions. So if somebody's looking to expand their building, we can help with that. And then finally, there is the LED lighting. A lot of people don't realize it, but LED lighting can dramatically save people costs. So that's an option that whenever we'll present somebody with solar, we'll also bring that to their attention. Just in case sometimes solar might not be an option that somebody can do, we can still say, hey, you can save a ton of money by switching this, be a lot more efficient, and those bulbs also last an extremely long time. Here's my contact information, and basically that's what I had put together for us. And then, like I said, we've also got the construction side. I have the contact information for that side of the business as well, if anybody's interested. So that's what we got. Yes?
Thank you. Great presentation. I was not as familiar with the construction piece that MC Power offered. We always see the solar panels around town, and so that's really interesting. You guys do the rehab and additional work. You have a footprint here in Sedalia. You have an office in Sedalia. Tell us about your presence here in the community.
Okay, so like she mentioned, we do have an office in Sedalia and then also in Lee Summit. The office here in Sedalia is right behind where Subway is on Limit, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, on Limit, and as far as our presence here in Sedalia, we started doing solar, like I mentioned, in 2009 when they had a bunch of rebates, and so we put in roughly about 60 systems around the Sedalia area, and then we moved up to like the larger grade, and then however within about the last year and a half, there's been what's called the PACE program, and what that does is it's a way to get a loan. Basically, it's a long process, but it's allowing people to get a loan through the state at an extremely low interest rate that allows you to pay off a solar system within about 2 years, and there's no upfront cost whatsoever. Where a solar system used to be, a 15, 16-year payback, where now you can be, 2 years in, get a payback, and you have to be money positive straight out of the gate in order to get that loan. So now that they've had this program out, we've really started focusing back in and getting into this commercial side and residential side. Because again, with no upfront cost, that's really knocked out a lot of the issues that we used to have to deal with.
That's what I was asking. I see all the commercial, but you do also do residential?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, predominantly we do commercial.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we absolutely can do residential if.
And is there such a thing as shingles that have the solar, but you have the panels?
So right now we have the panels.
Okay.
Now there are companies out there that are trying to do the shingles,
Right.
like Tesla and a couple of those other ones. But as of right now, they're just. Honestly, it's kind of a pipe dream
Right.
that Elon is dreaming of.
And then so about storms, what about, I think of hail. I always wanted to ask somebody that knew about solar.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an issue?
So right now, basically the panels that we use have a glass coating across the top, and they can take damage from a ball of hail from about the size of a golf ball before you see any damage whatsoever. Now that being said, if we install a system and something absolutely fluke happens and a panel goes down, we immediately will get that warning or an email basically from our system that'll say, hey, this system's, one of their panels is down, and as part of our warranty and maintenance, we got somebody out there immediately to fix it.
Cool.
In fact, I mentioned the community solar project that we put in up in Independence, and what that is that allows people to subscribe to one massive farm. Instead of having to put panels on their own home or business, they can use the energy off the city's farm. And I went down to a place down in Kansas to talk to somebody when we were in the middle of putting ours in, to ask them, hey, how do we market this and things like that. And the guy took me out to his farm, or out to their farm, and he said, man, we have a panel out, I can already tell you which panel it is. It's going to be this panel bubble, and he described it perfectly. And so we went out there, and he was exactly right. I was like, man, that's amazing. You could tell that, by your computers and all that. He's like, no, some idiot with his 22 keeps shooting out this panel.
What?
And
wow.
It had been about the 8th time that they had done that. And he said that even they had put up some security cameras and stuff. And he said that they'd actually had on their cameras where people had jumped their fences and tried to do something to a panel, and they were strong enough that it didn't affect it. Now, again, getting shot by a 22, it does. But,
wow.
But yeah, so as far as weather is concerned, and also any system that we put in, they always come with insurance. So, if a tornado comes through and knocks out your system, it's going to get replaced. So, it takes that issue out as well.
If the tax credits are still set to expire in a few years, do you think that's going to hurt your business, or what do you think the future of solar is? All the incentives leaving.
Yeah, so as of right now, because those tax credits were on the fence, it's actually helps projects right now. What he's referring to is in December, they had a vote on whether or not to keep that federal tax credit. And the way it was set up is anybody that had started a system before December 31st could continue to take that tax credit out until their system was completed for up to 3 years. So you had a bunch of these companies that would buy a ton of panels. They were going to put in a huge system and then just take their sweet time actually doing it. Well, then that credit actually got extended, and so a bunch of these companies were like, yeah, you know what, we'll redo it then. So there's a huge surplus of panels and stuff like that. So we were able to get these panels at a much cheaper rate, So, you know, that actually helps us short term. Now, as far as the long term, what's been extended right now is they have extended it through at least 2022. And then after that, they've got in place now that every extension that they're going to do is going to be a 5-year extension. Now, with the way that these, that the technology, the panels, and all that stuff is going, we would like to think that even if those tax credits weren't there, people are going to be able to save so much money by having a system in place that it shouldn't affect the sales of it. Again, we'll see.
Are your customers able to settle back into the grid, to the power companies, and see some return on their collection of solar, or is it pretty much just washed for them as a savings?
So it depends entirely where you're at. And so like KCP&L, for example, they have a net metering program. So you are able to send back, or, you know, get credit. Now, they don't credit you what you're paying for it. You know, if they're charging you 8 cents, they might give you 3 for yours. But it also, you know, instead of paying your 8, you're paying a dramatically less amount for what you are using. So, but yeah, it depends entirely on who you use for your power. Yes?
So was the business starting just with the solar panels, or did you have everything else already in place, like with your refinishing, LED lighting? Was that added later?
So originally, they were a construction and electrical company. And then, like I mentioned, we had a very big consumer come to us and say, do you guys think you could put in some solar for us? And we said, hey, we got the guys for it. Yeah, we could probably do it. And so we did a project. And then, you know, after that, it said, hey, that's with the rebates that are out right now, you know, this is a huge opportunity. And since we had the people to do it, I think that's my sign. But no, since we had the people to do it, we just decided to try and go to that market, because the other thing is about solar is right now we're in a niche market, because there's a lot of companies that like to only talk to residential, or on the larger scale, they only want to go after the absolutely massive projects. Where our real niche is we'll go to a smaller commercial business, or we'll go to a utility grade, maybe like a 5 or 6 megawatt project, versus, you know, these other companies will only go after 100 megawatt projects. We realize that's not what we do best, and so we focus on where we're at. But yeah, so originally we were construction electrical, and that's where a majority of our guys are consistently. That's how we keep them busy.
So how about finding technicians to service them? Do you have any trouble finding people to help you with all this?
Not right now, or not usually. We've got about 60 to 65 people out in the field that we can have. And so if they're not in the process of building something, then we can get guys out there. Now, if it turns out that, you know, we are short somebody, we've got a couple of companies up in Kansas City that we can subcontract that process. So whatever it is, we like to make sure that if somebody's system goes down, or if there's a problem in construction, we have it fixed immediately. Because, like I said, we really, really focus on having a partnership, and a majority of our business at this point genuinely comes from people coming to us and saying, you know what, I talked to Tom, he said it was an absolutely fantastic experience, can we at least sit down and talk? And that's how we like building our power, or our business. Yes?
For those public projects that take several different players and different partners coming to the table, what are the biggest challenges for your company or for the overall project to make it go?
The paperwork. Honestly, it's it's kind of difficult agreeing to what the purchase price of the power is going to be. So anytime we do a project with a city, you know, such as Independence, I know I keep throwing them out there, but that's the most recent one we've done. You know, they want to get a certain amount of their power from solar onto their grid, and the finance group that wants to build the project, or, you know, pay us to build the project for them, they want to guarantee that they get a certain amount for that power produced. So it's really hard to get that utility and the finance group to agree on a price to make sure that it's beneficial for everybody. Because as far as we're concerned, you know, we know what a project costs, or you know, we know panels are going to cost us this much, racking is going to cost this much. This is how long it's going to take us to do this. Here's what it's going to cost from our perspective. So it's having the outside partners agree is the main difficult part for us. We've built enough now that as soon as we know the project's a go, we can have our guys out there ready to go immediately almost.
Okay, well, I will ask you the last question as well. What can we do as a community do for you?
The only thing that I can really think of and ask is, if you guys have a refinish coming up, or if you guys are interested in LEDs or potentially putting solar in your business, just reach out to us. And in order for me to come and present something to you to show you the benefits of solar, there's only a couple of things I would need from you. And it typically takes 15 minutes to sit down and say, hey, here's what your savings is going to be. And if it's something that makes sense, then, we can take further steps. And if not, hey, I got to shake a hand and introduce myself.
Guys, put your hands together.